FPK, Word of the Day. Hello, friends. Are you ready to hear the word of the day?
Yay!
Decolonize. D.
Call.
In.
Eyes.
You got it. I love this word so much. It's one of my favorite words.
But why? Is it because you hate colons and want to get rid of them?
Do you mean the body part or the punctuation? Oh, never mind. That's not at all what we're talking about today.
Well, then get to the point then. Ha, point, get it, colon, point.
Sure, I love a good punctuation joke. How about this one? What did the period say to the sentence? We better stop now. But wait. How do we get into this? You're kind of taking over my word of the day lesson here.
Oh, just because it's your lesson and you started it, I can't be a part of it?
Whoa. No need to get defensive. That's not what I'm saying exactly. In fact, it's a lot like our word of the day. You just colonized my lesson.
What do you mean?
Well, I could give you a dictionary definition and the whole history of colonization of the world, hashtag Google it, but maybe our word of the day can be better understood if we talk about it given our current reality.
Oh, like a reality show? What's the competition?
No, not a reality show, just a simple and inarguable reality that as people who live in the country we call the United States, most of us are living on unceded land, or land that was never given with permission. It was taken, stolen from the indigenous people who lived and cared for this very earth. Some may say there's not much we can do about that. That's in the past, they might say. Or, well, I'm an immigrant. Or, like me, a descendant of recent immigrants. So what does that have to do with me?
So kind of how I took over your lesson earlier?
Yes. Not only did immigrants from Europe, who we call colonizers, come to this land and claim it as their own, so also followed other immigrants and their descendants, like us, who we call settler colonists. And in all this process, over the past few hundred years, there was both violence and some examples of cooperation, though mostly violence, and a huge populating of and extracting from the lands and waters by people from all different places. And that's sort of where we are now. There are good things about our diverse American society, but we can't forget how it all started and what was lost. From the very intentional killing of indigenous people we call attempted genocide, to the marginalization of indigenous ways of harvesting or caring for forests, for example, to the extinction of entire species of animals in the process of colonial over-extraction. Nevertheless, indigenous communities, culture, and language have persisted and remain on this land today.
Right. At school, Native Americans used to be shown in history books as people from the past who don't exist anymore. But now there are so many good books about indigenous people and kids living life just like me.
We can share that list below. And you probably know indigenous people in your community?
I do. So should we just leave and give all the land back to them?
That is a good question. And that's where our word of the day comes in. Once we are aware of an injustice, historical or present, we are obligated not to come up with our own answers, but to turn to those who are most affected and marginalized by the injustice. We can acknowledge the complexity of a situation and still know that the answer is quite simple. Just do the next right thing being asked of you.
So what is being asked of us?
Indigenous communities around the world have different ideas about what should be done to right the wrongs of stolen land and genocide. Some indigenous movements do want settler colonists to leave and want to rematriate or regain stewardship of their land. Others may have other answers, but what is common is what we in our Christian faith call shalom.
That means peace, right?
Sort of. It means a returning to a whole, complete state, the way Creator intended. And that is essentially what decolonization is. It's seeing how much has been broken and making every effort to return to what Creator intended for the land and its people.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It is, but it's exactly the work of Jesus, who brought people from the margins to the center of the story time and time again in our sacred text called the Bible. Jesus recentered people, stories, wealth, and it is our job to do the same.
Got it. Recenter, restore, return to the beginning. But do you mean like the beginning? Like, in the beginning?
I mean, technically yes. The Creator's original plan was for us to hang out at a garden party all day. Doesn't that sound amazing?
Will there be snacks?
An unlimited supply.
Sounds like heaven.
Exactly. But I don't know when we will be able to recreate that shalom on earth as it is in heaven. It won't be in my lifetime or yours. But that does not mean that we don't strive to return, recenter, and restore in the meantime.
Is decolonizing only about restoring the earth?
Well, it started with the earth. Colonization is when people settle in and appropriate or take land, its resources, and its native inhabitants for its own use and own benefit. And that has been done all around the world, not only in the United States. We are all affected by colonization in some way. So when we use the word decolonize, we can actually apply it to many things. Yes, we can decolonize the land, and decolonizing the land really means restoring relationships, restoring control or stewardship of the land to the people who know the most about it, restoring the wealth of this land back into the hands from which it was stolen. It means restoring our actual relationship to the land. So we can decolonize our food, we can decolonize our history, we can decolonize our thinking. We can even work on decolonizing ourselves.
This is feeling complicated.
It might feel complicated because decolonizing means challenging so much that we have been taught, been accustomed to, and never questioned. But as I said before, it can be very simple and a matter of taking one next step towards shalom at a time. Come back for part 2 of this video for some practical advice about decolonizing Thanksgiving.